Welcome everybody. Let's go to Cocke County again, right there at the Smoky Mountains. Hello again, welcome back to Appalachian Cemetery Hunting. And as you know, we've been jumping around from county to county close to the Smoky Mountains to find some old cemeteries. Today, we're going to be at the David Bartley Laws Family Cemetery. And I'm really interested to get into this one because, as you all know, my maiden name is Laws. And I'm big in ancestry. So I'm so hoping I can find some connection here. And this one is in the Del Rio community. Here's a picture of it. If you can see on the map here, the cemetery is located east of Interstate 40 in the Cherokee National Forest, and it's near the North Carolina and Tennessee border in the Smoky Mountains. So we are in the Smoky Mountains. And there's only 19 people buried here in this very small cemetery. And the earliest burial that we could find was 1933, so it's not super old. But like I said, it's a small cemetery up in the mountains. And I find it interesting because, like I said, it's maybe some of my ancestors. Let's see. But let's get started and see who we can find here. We got Helen Jean Evans, 1933 to 1934. Not a good sign when the first one that we find is just a year-old child. We got John David Green, 1944 to 2006. And we have his parents, Lucille Laws Green, 1917 to 1994. And U.L. Green, 1916 to 1991. Now, look at this picture of Lucille. We're guessing it was taken around the 1940s. Not sure, but that's a really neat picture. And U.L., her husband, he served in the Army during World War II. We also found a picture of them taken during their 50th wedding anniversary celebration. Now, that's awesome. Not many people make it that long together anymore. And we found Lucille's father, David Bartley, D.B. Laws, 1872 to 1933. And we found a picture of him. Now, it was taken from a family picture in 1903, and if you'll look seated from left to right in the front row, we have his mother-in-law, Catherine Potter Ball. Then David, he's next to his wife, Lou Rainey Ball Laws, and David's mother, Amanda Jane Lilburn Laws. Now, we're wondering if she may have been Cherokee Indian. Look at her. She's got a lot of features there. Now, the children seated in the front are Pearl and Bernice Laws. And the children standing in the back from left to right is Osborne Raleigh, Myrtle, and Fleur-de-Lis, that was hard for me to say, Laws. And next we have Lucille's mother and DB's wife, Rainey Ball Laws, 1874 to 1951. Notice the burning lamp on her headstone. And when you see that symbolizes wisdom. So, sounds like she was a woman that knew what she was doing. And here's a close-up of her that was taken from the family picture when we started looking at DB. And then here's another family photo portrait that we think may have been taken closer to around 1900. I'll give you a second to look at that. That's cool. And then this is David and Rainey's son, DeCurtis Laws, 1912 to 1969. And David served as a private first class in Company C of the 759th Military Police Battalion in the U.S. Army during World War II. We actually found a picture of him also. And this is David's and Rainey's daughter, Myrtle Laws, 1893 to 1953. And boy, look at this cool picture of her. And then we have their son, Osborne Riley, and they called him Bud Laws, 1895 to 1973. We looked at this family picture earlier, but Osborne was just a young boy, and he's circled in red, if you can see that. And here he is as a young man, and he served as a private in the U.S. Army during World War I. Now we have Shirley K. Laws, 1936 to 1939. Now, she was only 3 years old when she passed. Elmer Bernie Moore, 1902 to 1995, and his wife, Hattie Mae James Moore, 1910 to 1963. Amanda Joyce Rollins, 1965 to 2011. And next to her parents, we have Barbara Lucille Green Rollins, 1938 to 2023. That's very recent. And Creed Rollins, 1937 to 2015. Now, what we've researched, Creed is supposed to be buried in the Laws Green Cemetery in Cocke County. And if any of you have any information about this, leave comments below. I'm very interested in this. We have Ernest Rollins, 1927 to 1993. Fred Rollins, it's either Rollins or Rollins, 1902 to 1983, and his wife Bernice Rebecca Green, I'm going to say Rollins, 1914 to 2002. And Bernice is listed as being buried in the Laws Green Cemetery too. And we're wondering if these two cemeteries are just right next to each other, you know, butted up next to each other. Next we have Faye Agnes Rollins Sutherland, 1939 to 2013. And you'll notice her husband, HC's name, is on the headstone. Now this picture was taken in 2020, and as of then he was still alive, so we're not sure. We've got Milo Wilburn, and he was born and he died October the 28th of 2015. Now there's one person that does not have a picture of their grave that we could find, and that's Wesley Laws. We don't have any dates for him. But like I said at the beginning, my maiden name is Laws, and most of my people did come from the North Carolina side. And I'm just interested because I have run into a brick wall on my ancestry tree. So I'm hoping that I can connect the dots here, because I have got a great grandfather that, like I said, he's a brick wall in my ancestry, and I can't find anything else about him. And you lost people watching this, if you know anything about Esom, his name is Esom, E-S-O-M, Laws. He was married to Anna Grosclose, and they lived in either, most of them lived in like Ewing, Virginia, Gibson Station, Virginia, and sometimes you can find them in some census, and their marriage license in Claiborne County, Tennessee. So, and it all is right there within a 5-mile radius anyway. You're right there at the tri-state marker of Virginia, Tennessee, and Kentucky. So, if you Laws family are out there and you can help me with that, oh my goodness, I could really burn it up if I could just move on past Esom. Anyway, this is going to wrap up our look at the Davis Bartley Laws Family Cemetery in Cocke County, Tennessee. Beautiful county. And hopefully there's a lot of local history you guys can give me on this. And we did find some awesome photographs. We want to thank you guys for subscribing and liking our channel. Hit the notification button, share, get our little YouTube video out there and help us get going. We want to wish you a very happy new year. I know for me personally and my family, this past year, I'm glad to see gone. Had a lot of hurt, sadness, sorrow, trauma, and I'm not going to miss 2025 one bit. But thank you guys for all your love and support, and we will see you next year if the good Lord's willing. God bless you. See you next time. Bye-bye.